Dennis, why do you people always mass up at this? The state institution has invited a member of your party for interrogation, or while he's been picked up with you. Why all these party supporters at the office of EOCO last night?
Let me say a very warm good morning to yourself, an engineer.
Good morning to you.
You know, Dr. Aboagye wrapped up the Greater Accra tour yesterday.
Yeah.
So we've done about 15 regions with the thank you tour. It's left for Central region.
Right.
And so I want to use your platform to say thank you to the people of the Greater Accra region for the reception in the past 3 days. You know, once again, the NDC food soldiers won the day. For me, they are the biggest beneficiaries of all this drama.
How?
The reasons are that engineer made some very good points. So the CID writes to you, inviting you to come for an investigation in a particular matter. Then you write back and indicate your unavailability within the period, which is all within the law. And then you are just there, and then armed men show up in your house, banging your gates, you know, with arms and flying drones, looking into your compound. Then they spend hours there, they don't find you, then they go back. And then you understand they are from the police, then you communicate that, okay, I'll come on Monday. You show up on Monday, you show up on Tuesday. Then Tuesday, after you are done with them, right there, within the police premise, or just when you are with the police, you have people crossing your vehicle with arms and moving you into another vehicle and taking you to another state agency. I mean, if it's not for drama, really, it's needless. Right. That's my view. If it's not for drama, it's needless. All you needed to do was to simply communicate to the person and his lawyers. Yeah. Whilst they are at the police headquarters, when you finish, let's cross and come to EOCO. And they will come. You didn't have to show up with arms and pack. Like engineer said, it's just somebody sitting somewhere saying, let's show to me where power lies. Maybe because of some utterances and a certain posture that they feel. So it's a cycle. Because if you feel that Wontumi made certain comments and give certain body language and posture that irks you, for which reason you want to show him power lies, you are doing the same thing. So do you know what will happen is that Wontumi and his lovers or followers are also taking note. So in about 2-3 years from now, you'd realize that in about 2-3 years from now, the Wontumi lovers would also be preparing for a retaliation when you also lose power. And so in 2028, when you also lose power and you are no longer, in office, what you'd realize is that Wontumi and co and his people would simply come after you as well.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we just be moving in circles and getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you that the manner in which you treat some of these political people is the same way or even more how you'll be treated in the future. And the democracy that we have, I think you heard Trump saying that he's stripping Joe Biden of certain privileges when it comes to national security briefing. Yeah. And he simply said that, well, they stripped me off when they had power. So he's retaliated. Yeah. So we need to, at some point in the midst of the chaos and the noise, some reason should prevail. And somebody should say, well, whilst I'm doing all of this, let me also position myself 4 years from now, or 8 years from now, or even like they say it, 100 years from now. And how I would also want to be treated. I don't think what happened last night was needed. Wontumi can be invited by almost all the security agencies in this country if he's committed a crime. But in this country where we are led by laws, until you are convicted of a crime by a court of competent jurisdiction, you need to be treated with some dignity.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I am not yet a criminal up until the time I am declared sane by a court. You have to be careful the way you handle me. Because should I come out clean, you would have hurt me so much that sometimes some of them are irreversible. For me, that's where my concern is. And you, the perpetrator, you should be mindful and also be quick to remind yourself that it could turn like it's turned. And I can tell you that most of these things that are happening are simply because some people feel that 8 years ago, you know, they did a similar thing to me or somebody that I know, and I also want to retaliate. Like, you are not thinking about it well. Because what you are failing to realize is that somebody is also marking and taking notes.
The cycle continues.
Yes.
The drama doesn't
because nobody will forget about what happened last night from the NPP side. And you see, there's something that we humans, our brains, God, the way God created us. You remember when 2016, another won by 1 million votes? Some people said NDC Egu. In fact, for almost 2 years, you heard people say, oh, NDC Egu. Oh, it was a trend on social media. Oh, another will launch something, oh, NDC Egu. Oh, NDC will be in opposition for 30 years, 40 years. Here we are. 8 years down the line. The same president that was, nobody wanted to say his face and all of that, competent, he's in power.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful how we use some of these things. And it's not difficult for anybody to say, well, this is politics at play. Not just because, to me, it's a political actor, but the issues. I mean, you are inviting to me in this manner, okay, for Galamsey issues, in this manner. When, as we speak, hot active, one that is captured on video, one that you don't even need to investigate, okay, are pending. You had your party chairman at Upper Dentra East also accosting, I think you showed it on your TV, accosting military men on a bridge in the middle of the road and almost strangling them, as in, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Then the media people fly drones and see this chairman and his party, NDC party people, destroying the forest and destroying the river. He's still walking. The Awin Traditional Council, they have written a petition to the president that the Awin NDC MP is the one leading Galamsey in the area. He's in parliament, he's still walking. Recently, the national security has been accused of taking over a mining site and running the machines and mining. It's been reported. In fact, they haven't denied it. As a matter of fact, the report is that the deputy director of operations at the presidency has confirmed that what they are doing is to take it for the NDC people. You understand? The one chairman in Ashanti region, Akro From or Chairman Kutu or Chairman something, but right by the roadside, is seen mining. You understand? So if you haven't invited these people, you just invite them in very simple. Don't use the same drama you are using for Wontumi. If you haven't invited these people, and I wake up in the morning and I see you arms, military men, you know, armed to the teeth, dragging Wontumi and taking him to CID, taking him to EOCO, keeping him for hours, you're not fighting Galamsey, actually. Actually, what you're doing to Wontumi is not to fight Galamsey. It's to show Wontumi where power lies. Because if you are fighting Galamsey, Wontumi should be with you. The chairman for Upper Dentra East should be with you. The MP for Awin should be with you. All these people should be with you. At least, let us see that you have at least invited them and you started some investigation. I think that the NDC, I don't know which popularity contest they are in with anybody. I think that this is 2025. All of us as a country in our democracy may have committed some blunders and errors in the past with the way we use state power and force. But it is the reason why we grow. It is the reason why our democracy is maturing. And I think that in 2025, the president must call somebody to order quickly. I mean, if I've committed a crime, come for me. Invite me. I would come. Do all your investigations. You know, you could have invited Wontumi the way he went to the CID headquarters. I don't think there was any drama there. No. He went there, parked his car, went with his lawyers. They were there for hours. No issue. But this was an idea that, you know, you'll be home and people are banging on your doors and you come. And you know, funny enough, you are very sure that most of these things eventually may not even end up with either prosecution or even any sentencing. Because I may not be guilty. Wontumi may or may not be guilty. So if you do all this drama and it turns out that the guy is not guilty, you are putting pressure on you yourself. Look at what is happening with this Aboagye and AG matter. See the way the Attorney General came. In fact, I remember very well the day and days after his press conference, the whole country, everybody thought that as for Aboagye, he cannot even step out to even drink water. Today, the gentleman walks into the court and you see the walking and all of that. Because allegations, accusations, suspicions are completely different from adducing evidence. And anybody that understands law, and I keep saying that if you have gone to school, you at least understand law. The only difference between us and the lawyers may be the procedures. But we can read. We can read the criminal codes, we can read the constitutions, and we can understand. The only difference is that maybe the procedures. Maybe I will not be able to write an affidavit or, those are things that, rate of summons, those are things that they have learned technically. But we know that proving criminal issues in court is a different ballgame.
Yeah.
In fact, if you invite him to me, he can sit with you for 6 hours without saying a word. You can't do anything to him. If you think that engineer has stolen money, it is not up to engineer to come and tell you how you stole the money. It is up to you to go to court and prove the engineer. So you can drag one to me or anybody to EOCO or wherever, and he can spend hours with you without uttering a word. It will be up to you to take him to court and go and prove that whatever you're accusing him of. Yes. And at the court, he can now prove his evidence and his defense on you, and it will be up to you to prove so. So we need to be a bit careful. Because you see, I always say this, precedence becomes law. Precedence becomes law. So sometimes when we do certain things, and I remember when I was MC, I used to tell some people in government, some people, when it comes to decision making, that, when you are making decisions for this country, don't put yourself into it. Don't personalize it. I have a view that a lot of our laws, when you read and you know the people, you can tell. I can tell you, I have so many acts. Yes, I have so many acts of parliament that I can tell you that when you read, I tell you this person was part of it. People intend to impose their personal views, their personal sentiments in our laws even. And then decision making, policy making. There was a man, I won't mention his name, who used to do certain things in an office. He's a technical man, a chief director. And I was always telling him, Chief, this thing that you are doing, you know that you are doing it because now you are here just to protect yourself. But eventually when you leave, you would have wished that you did it differently. He didn't spend 6 months at home, he called me. Changes he would have done. Reforms he should have done. Improvement he should have brought. Because he was benefiting from the chaos, he didn't do those things. Now when he has left and is at home, he looks back and he wishes that those things, he had put them in place before he left.
The benefit of hindsight.
So when you have an opportunity to do some of these things, remember that the way you treat these people, you are setting the tone to make it look like they're normal. And that eventually it could be your turn.
And that has to stop somewhere.
Today we've gotten to the point where national security couples are being dragged even in public. In the past, we never had this. I mean, some of us used to even wonder, hey, these people, why they don't commit crimes? How come as for them when there's a change of government, they have, because there are protocols. Whether you like it or not, that is why you cannot just drag a president to court. The person can be a criminal, but he has privileges. Look at what happened to Trump in the US. He was almost, in fact, he was actually sentenced. You understand? But he has privileges. Accord him those privileges. But if you strip him of those privileges and treat him anyhow, you are also setting the precedence for same to be done to you. And that, for me, is what hurts me. That's what the people messing up. Anytime the action is perceived to be political, you should be rest assured that the people will mess up.
Why?
Why not? It is political. Once it is political, of all the arrests and raids you have heard, did you see anybody mess up?
You are in Team Fojo's house.
No. I mean, at the EOCO office and BNI office, and in Team Fojo, for instance, it was like that because the people saw it as political. And when it is political, the people know. When it is not political, they know. You understand? In Team Fojo, it was obvious that it was political. How do you come to somebody's house with guns? Somebody that said that I suspect something has happened. How do you come to his house with guns? Did it ever make sense to you? Have you ever heard anything come out of the Team Fojo's matter? Because it didn't make sense. There was no sense in it. And that is why you see people mass up. And this is not the first time. It happened during the NPP era when NDC was in power. It is happening today when NPP is in power. I can tell you that if it doesn't stop and it continues, when NPP comes to power or CPP comes, it will continue. You understand? That is why I am saying that the laws are there. So long as the people, that is why even in our courts, we have bails. Sometimes even self-cognizance bails. So long as the person is not one that you fear, would not show up when you invite him, or would run away, don't bother to put this drama in place. Allow him to report, interrogate him as... Do you know that a lot of former government officials have been reporting to EOCO and BNI?
Yeah.
Plenty. Yeah. The ones you are reading in the news are not even 2% of it. Why is there no drama around it? Because you invite them, they show up, you interrogate them, they go home. But if you decide to make a drama, there will be drama. The only way you get people mass up at EOCO is because in the full glare of the public, you went to cross with your vehicle, dragged him into your way with arms. People saw it. They took videos. You saw the videos on social media. Hey, why are they doing this Jamaun to me? This man is being taken through this because of what he has done for the party. Whether you like it or not, that is how people will interpret it. Let's go and support him. Otherwise, in the future, you won't get people support. And it happened in NPP, it's happening in NDC. I think that there must be a point where reason will prevail and people would stop these things and allow the laws.